don't tell me what you want. Michael!
I'm dead, aren't I? I'm dead! I'm dead!
Hey gang, welcome back. Uncle Todd and Sonny here, looking shaggier than usual. This week we're doing another TV movie. Well, not another one. I haven't done one. You know what I'm saying. When Michael Calls, which is based on a novel by John Ferris, who's a pretty well-known horror writer. He gave us such horror favorites as The Fury, which De Palma made into a film, All Heads Turn When the Hunt Goes By, and The Axeman Cometh, just to name a very few. And this film stars some really big names. Well, first we have as our lead Ben Gazzara, who first gained prominence back in the 60s with the TV show Run for Your Life, in which he played a millionaire who had only so long to live, so he was trying to cram as much experience into his life as possible before that happened, and of course help people that weren't well off. He was also a member of John Cassavetes' troupe of actors he would use in his films, like Cassavetes himself, Peter Falk, Cassavetes' wife Gina Rowland. Two of his more prominent roles were in Husbands and The Killing of a Chinese Bookie. And he was also in the cult classics, playing bad guys in Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, and of course the Coen brothers' Big Lebowski. Our female lead is Elizabeth Ashley, probably best known for playing Burt Reynolds' aunt-in-law, sister-in-law? No, it wouldn't be sister-in-law. Aunt-in-law in Evening Shade, where Burt Reynolds was a football coach for at the high school. Some of her more prominent films was the adaptation of Harold Robbins's Carpetbaggers. She was also in Coma, the Dan Aykroyd version of Dragnet, Kevin Smith's Mallrats. Quite active career. But the big name here is Michael Douglas. Yes, that Michael Douglas, the son of movie star Kirk Douglas, whose acting career got a big boost when he was the partner of Carl Malden on the 70s TV hit Streets of San Francisco. This film was one that he did before that iconic role. Some of his film work includes Coma, China Syndrome, Fatal Attraction, Wall Street, War of the Roses, Basic Instinct, and Falling Down, and The Game. He was also a very big producer, producing such hits as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Interesting point about that was the stage version, the rights were owned by him and his father played Randall McMurphy in the play. But Michael decided to cast Jack Nicholson in that role instead, which must have been pretty good instincts because it won 5 Oscars: picture, director, actress, lead, actor, film. Yeah, producer. Yeah. Anyways, one of the few films to do that. In fact, the only other one to copy that. It was the first film to do that since the comedy. Well, I'll put that down here. It was a comedy like it happened one night or something like that, and held that record until Silence of the Lambs copied it. Some of his other productions he's produced are Starman, the John Carpenter sci-fi classic, and the John Travolta Nicolas Cage actioner Face Off, as well as a lot of his own films that he started. We open with a man named Doremus, who's visiting his daughter Peggy and his ex-wife Helen.
Idea. Why don't I take you and Peggy to dinner tonight?
Because we already have plans. Oh, listen, Doremus, you can't just show up just right out of the blue like that and expect everybody to just change everything all around for you,
I know.
They're a bit estranged, you could say. But after he gets to see his daughter, and meet their groundskeeper, who also works other places around the town, he leaves to go back to his hotel, and Helen gets a strange phone call.
Hello? Hello?
Annie, my Helen.
Yes, hello?
Annie, my Helen. I missed the school bus. Come and get me.
Who is this?
It's Michael.
What? Hello?
If you're wondering about that there eerie music, the thing is, Michael died when he was 10. And good decade and a half, 2 decades earlier. Anyway, she puts it down as a crank call. But when it happens a second time, she calls Michael's younger brother Craig, who's now a psychiatrist at a school for troubled kids.
Hey, it couldn't possibly be one of your patients, could it?
Now we don't call them patients.
Look, the Greenleaf School is a school for emotionally disturbed children.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other kids in this town that are just as mischievous as the worst boys in Greenleaf.
I suspect a bit of foreshadowing there. Well, later that night in bed, she gets a third call from Michael. This time, he exclaims, "He's dead, isn't he?" Oh, she is so emotionally worked up about this. Now, her daughter Peggy has been overhearing a lot of this stuff. And so the next day, when she's spending it with her father, she asks him about Michael.
What happened to Michael? How did he die?
Well, you see, honey, he ran away from home and he got lost in a blizzard.
Oh, come on. Sorry. Got me napping. Anyways, turns out the reason Craig and Michael came to live with their Aunt Helen was their mother had to be committed. And so there's a rumor around town the family's all a little cracked, as, rumors go. Now, after their fun on the little merry-go-round, they go and visit old friend Doc, who has a farm. He does honey and milk. And, Peggy gets to pet the cows and such. And then afterwards, remember that guy doing their yard work I mentioned? Well, he also works for Doc.
Hey, not so rough, Randall. You'll curdle their milk.
Some more foreshadowing, I suspect. Well, that night, Doremus is watching his daughter while her mother is out doing something, and Peggy, answers the phone, and it's Michael saying something bad's going to happen to Doc. Well, by that time, Helen gets home, and they frantically try to call Doc's house, but his wife is on the phone with her sister. And, well, then this bizarre circumstance happens. I don't know about you, but I hate bee stings. Anyways, his wife finally finishes her phone call, and they get a hold of her, and she goes to check, but it's a little too late.
Is only mostly dead.
And if that wasn't bad enough, after she gets him out, she sees this. Oh, okay, so there might be a ghost involved here. Well, the next day, Doremus, Craig, Helen, they're all there, along with the police. The sheriff is played by Al Waxman, who probably best known acting-wise as the lieutenant on Cagney and Lacey. And Doremus has gone into the B section and has found the bottle of chloroform that Doc had been using to quiet the bees down. And he doesn't think it's chloroform.
What does chloroform smell like?
Nail polish.
Take a whiff.
It smells like bananas.
Well, the sheriff cannot get whatever that stuff is analyzed. Lab's not open. It's Sunday. Anyways, while the sheriff gets out of his car to go stop Randall from destroying the bees, as Doc's wife asked him to, because she's upset and everything, because they might be evidence of a murder now. Doremus grabs the bottle of not chloroform and takes up to the university to get it tested. And on his way back, the sheriff arrests him for tampering with evidence.
It's bee venom.
It's what?
That's right. Looks like chloroform, smells like bananas, and makes bees swarm.
Well, as interesting as bee venom is, the sheriff's still willing to put it down as an accident. He must have mislabeled the bottles. And he's not going to let Doremus bring up all that stuff about the phone calls and the little kid the wife saw, for one very good reason.
I was one of the ones that found what was left of him. I was in the front row of that funeral 15 years ago.
When you found him, what was left of him?
He'd been around 7 months.
So how'd you identify him?
There was a plaid coat with his name tag on.
Okay. Sound reason. The community, or I should say the school, was having a little Halloween party. And, well, the community and anyway, Jenny's made a pumpkin for the contest. While the sheriff is looking around before the festivities start, a little kid's voice lures him backstage.
What? I can't get loose. Help me, please.
I'm sure he wasn't lured up there for some nefarious purpose.
Perhaps.
Then at the festivities, we get some fun stuff of Doremus and his daughter playing games, and some of the students having fun smashing Craig's face with a cream pie, usual stuff. When the sheriff can't be located, they ask Doremus if he'll judge the pumpkin carving contest, because that's what the sheriff was there to do, and he agrees.
It's stuck. Give it a real jerk.
I'm shocked.
Okay, things are getting serious. That night, Doremus decides he's going to stay in the house with his ex-wife and daughter, keep an eye on things. And a good thing he does, because someone breaks into the house that night.
Right there, I'll put a bullet right through your kneecap. Michael.
That's Harry Randall.
It would be the right age, but even with the light shined on him, Helen can't be sure. So, after he's been booked, they call in Craig to see if he can identify him.
Randall, Harry Randall.
Turn your face around this way.
Randall, Harry Randall. Randall, Harry Randall.
That's not my brother.
I know, I just got the report from the state police.
Yeah, it seems the guy who's under an assumed name has a record for petty theft and stuff, and he was getting kind of scared with all the crazy stuff going around town that he might get blamed, so he broke in to steal some of the stuff that Ann has in her antique shop, like the jewelry, to get some money to get out of town. Well, later that night, Doremus still staying over, Helen gets another call from Michael, telling her he needs her help, and she needs to come to this farm outside of town. So Doremus goes instead.
Michael!
He's not leading him into a trap, is he?
Perhaps.
Nah, couldn't be.
I've had worse.
I know, it was so obvious. No, I don't think he's watched too many mysteries, or otherwise he would have figured that out. Well, let's see what Michael has planned for Doremus. Okay, this is getting bad. So, the little kid probably isn't a ghost then, is he? Yeah. But then, so Michael's an adult now, and he's using the, I don't know, it's getting complicated. Might as well see if we get a nick of the time rescue. I was a little worried there. You? No, you weren't. You haven't seen this before, have you? Oh. You know the cliches. Well, anyways, about that time Craig shows up. Turns out the boy's name is Peter, and he's one of the students at the school. And, well, when Doremus says he's the one, Craig has an explanation that that's not possible.
Now look, I don't know what he's doing this far from school. But I'll tell you one thing, he's not making any phone calls.
How do you know that?
Because he can't talk. He's a mute.
I don't know where we are now. After they get Peter back to the school, Craig decides to patch up the rather hard knock Doremus sustained, at which point they have a pretty interesting conversation.
Making some progress with him, though, through hypnotism. I'm quite close to removing the block that keeps him mute. Afraid I'll have to start all over again now.
Interesting. Then they start talking about what a psychopath is.
Yes, you could think of it this way. A man balancing a tremendous weight on his head while he's struggling along a road. He can't stop, not even for a moment, because the weight would crush him if he did.
But isn't there a time when any small stimulus could send him into a world where the nightmares never end?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Well, I'm pretty sure you figured it out. So is Doremus. And Craig's figured out that Doremus has figured it out, so he cold cocks him. Locks him in his office. And he gets in his car and he waits. And at a specific time, Peter wakes up, gets dressed, goes out a window, shimmies down a drain pipe, and gets in Craig's car. Now, before leaving, Craig dismantles the radio in the patrol car that's there. Then he heads to his Aunt Helen's house. Doremus has woken up. He's broken out of the office. He's got the cop alerted. They can't call anyone. So they have one of the nurses phone the police headquarters while they head for Helen's house. But of course, Craig gets there first.
Who's this?
Michael?
Of course, we get a chase with Craig acting all crazy-like and very menacing.
Hi, keeper.
Well, that's not going to keep him down very long.
Michael? Michael? Mike's me hurt, Helen!
Looks like she's done for.
Michael?
I'm not Michael. My name's Peter. My name's Peter.
Oh, I think this is just the stimulus to get that psychotic break. And a chance to get a villain monologue going.
That's right.
It's my fault. I told him to run away. I could have stopped him. But I didn't. I wanted him to die.
Why would he want his brother to die?
He was a favorite.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sure every family's gone through that when there's multiple kids. Luckily, I was the favorite. Anyway, Doremus and the police arrive, and by that time, the break is complete. Yeah, he's gone. Just one more thing to wrap up the whole thing of the phone calls.
We found a bunch of phone calls that Craig had recorded on a cassette. Apparently, he hypnotized Peter to dial your number and then play the machine.
What's wrong, Annie, my Helen? Why are you mad at me?
And the psychiatrist from New York said the kid's going to be okay. He can't remember anything, and apparently he wasn't involved with anything that was going on. This just about solves the mystery.
Well, okay. Everything explained. Greg's going to be in a hospital for quite a while. And Peter's going to be fine. He's actually talking up a storm now, apparently. And as for Doremus, well, he and Helen have reconciled. And the three of them are packing up to return together as a family to the city. And hopefully put this all behind them. And they promise their daughter down the road, when he's on the road to mending, she'll be able to see Craig again. Pretty good movie. Now, I have read the book, and the book is a bit different. The main differences are that Doremus was not married to Helen. He was just a guy that was in the town. He was a retired police officer, and Craig had a girlfriend that he was starting to drift away from. Those are like some of the main differences. In the ending, where Craig dies going off a cliff, where he's had a break, it was more of a split personality thing, where he was also Michael. Same reasoning behind it all, and so he was actually in a persona, and he goes over a cliff with a fight with Doremus, and then Doremus ends up marrying Craig's ex-girlfriend. So, which, bit of an age gap. He was like in his 40s and she was in her 20s, but yeah, this is the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. That stuff happens. It still happens today. But yeah, really a good mystery. Really good acting, because you got some real pros there. Even though Michael Douglas was in his salad days, as they used to call it, he showed that he had the chops. You know, he inherited that talent from his father. And so good suspense, good red herring in the Randall guy, because he's always around when something happens. But and a really good climax there with him chasing after Helen with the ball bat and swinging it around, and yeah, really like that. And pretty good solution. One other thing in the book, actually, Craig was the one who was recording his own voice pitched high like a child, the Michael persona. I don't think they went into that here, but that's why it was so traumatic that Peter talked there at the end of the climax there, because he doesn't talk at all. He can't. It's a psychological break from his parents dying in a fire, which also made Doremus suspicious in this film, because you've lost your parents in a fire. You're not going to start a fire that's going to kill yourself. You're going to be afraid of fire. Although I'm sure there are some psychologists that would probably argue that no, he'd be an arsonist, but whichever. It's just one of those things that makes Doremus figure out Craig is the real one behind everything. And I like the scene between them where they're discussing things, and you can just see Doremus starting to put everything together and figure out, oh, it's Craig. And especially with Michael Douglas, because he just starts to get this really, I mean, you saw in the clips, he's getting this really weird cadence to his voice. He's just kind of drifting away there in some kind of weird episode he's having. So yeah, really good. Probably the highlight of the film, really. And some interesting murders. I especially like that first one where they used the bees. Although I like with snakes, I really have a thing about bees. I don't like being stung. It's funny. Spiders don't bother me. Bees do. Weird, huh? My wife's the opposite. She can't stand spiders, but bees don't bother her. Wasps, on the other hand, but they can sting more than once, so she doesn't like them. Same here. Anyway, be that as it may, as they used to say on Real People, showing my age again. Really good film. Really enjoyed it. Pretty well made for a film that was made for TV. TV actually had some really good films they would get made back in the 70s, like The Night Stalker had introduced the world to Carl Kolchak, and Tobe Hooper's miniseries of Salem's Lot. That was really good too. So yeah, I really like this one. Next week's next week we're going for a something a little different in the realm from this week or last week. But till then, I'll just keep scritching this little cat's cheeks, and okay, gotta scritch them both. Don't want to show favoritism here. And I'll see you next time, and please stay after the credits for my favorite scene.
Don't you think you should give yourself up, Craig, before that happens?